Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Sparsh Gupta, your pathology faculty at Cerebellum, and it is such an honor and pride for me to introduce to you one of our stalwarts in the FMG exam results, which were declared relatively recently. And I'm very happy to share with you Dr. Rajshree Ravichandran, who not only cracked the exam, but I would say the icing on the cake has been that she has got a magnanimous score of 200 plus. So without taking too much of your time and not acting as a speed breaker between you and madam, I would just request Dr. Rajashree to first, congratulations, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Many congratulations to you and your family members on this wonderful score. And maybe just start off with your brief introduction.
Good evening, everyone. I am Rajasree Ravichandran. I'm from Surat, basically born in Chennai, but my native is in Kerala, so I'm like mix of all South and North, everything. I did my MBBS from Mauritius, University of Mauritius, and I could score 204 on FMG, and I'm really happy about it.
See, that is the beauty of the toppers that apart from being good, intelligent people, most of the times they are very humble as well. And you see a reflection of her humility when she says, I could score 200 plus. I mean, we have been through similar stages. So I can assure you that somebody getting a score of maybe 150 or 152 could have said it. But definitely somebody having a score of 200 plus would have slogged far more harder in comparison to what she just portrayed in front of you. So, all right.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I think that's a very good trait of a wonderful human and good, successful future doctor as well. So, Dr. Rajshree, how was your experience of the exam that you appeared in? I mean, was this your first attempt or?
This was my first attempt, and honestly, like for me, I expected paper to be much easier compared to like solving all the previous year questions, but it was bit on moderate to tough side. And but like to be honest, like I would say that out of 300 questions, 100 were like much doable. Next 100 was more of like logical thinking. You need to have like bit of knowledge, and other 100 was like you need to have in-depth knowledge. And for that, that and like after coming out of exam, like you can't really say that paper went good or it was like just pass. I knew that I would definitely get like 150, but I couldn't say much about the marks because it was not like conventional paper.
So, Dr. Rajshree, if I may ask you, since you got a wonderful score, I mean, to my mind, this is usually not possible with a short-term preparation. Do I presume the fact that you had prepared for this exam way earlier, or was it just a thing that you were doing it consciously when you were preparing for university exams as well?
So for university exam, I would say that I didn't like do the whole subject in depth. I would rather focus on the markings of university and like make the concept clear over there, but not like I wouldn't cover all the videos. But when it comes to SMG, I watched all the main videos and I hardly did get time to revise, but I did try to make my one reading very good. That's all. Yes.
So, as a lot of people would usually ask that kind of a question, do you believe in making your own notes after watching the videos, or do you believe in the already made notes by somebody and then adding the points or doing a revision from them?
If it depends on when you start the preparation, if it's like around like 4 to 5 months, I would say that to have already pre-made notes and add that point. But it will be like the ideal one will be definitely making your own notes. But I didn't have that luxury, so I preferred making like already adding on to the notes.
So, talking about the fact that you had a plan and a premium subscription for Cerebellum, Dr. Dhanushi, how did you find? I mean, what was the most enticing part of the Cerebellum FMG pack, which made you make a final judgment that this should be your preparation partner?
So, like I bought Cerebellum because I wanted to focus on next exam because in between there was like next is going to happen, and that's when I bought on like June 2nd. I think that's when I bought Cerebellum. Uh, the best thing about Cerebellum I felt is always the the live lecture, because I can't compare with any of the preparation source, because they had perfect timetable. They were covering all the main topics, everything, like everything is covered. And even if you miss out because of some uh, untimingly anything you missed out, so you can cover it up. Even like you know that before sleeping you need to cover that lecture. So I think the best part of Cerebellum is having live lecture. I really like the question bank. They didn't try to repeat the same topics in the question bank like again and again, and uh, you are solving many questions, and it doesn't feel that, oh, you are solving many questions. It feels like it's completing the whole subject. That's the second best part of Cerebellum. Uh, I can think of these, and and BTR, like the best part was also BTR, because I didn't get much time to watch all the BTR videos, but in last 5 days, I that's the first time I'm actually watching BTR, and then honestly, like my anxiety level were very high. So and somehow Zainab ma'am's voice was always like calming for me. So I used to only watch BTR even if I can't study anything else. In those last 5 days, I used to only watch. I didn't even note down or anything, but I just used to watch Zainab ma'am's BTR in like 1.5x and 2x, because already ma'am was already fast in that. So in 1.5x speed, I was watching, and like that was my last 5 days strategy.
So I
And
think Dr. Rajshree reiterating the fact that see what you actually get with Cerebellum happens to be best of both the worlds. We always talk about the fact that undoubtedly pre-recorded lectures are utilized by a lot of people, but sometimes the feedback from the students in general is that it is at times difficult for them to maintain regularity, right? Because there is nobody who's actually watching you. It is I would say it's a kind of a situation where you are your own boss, you are your own vigilant. So in that sense, the FMG live sessions are helpful, right? And the second best part for those sessions would be that just in case, because of any personal reasons or otherwise, you are missing them, then you always have the availability of the recordings of those live sessions, which are made available to you the very next day, along with the notes as well. And if you just have a comparison of this particular feature with respect to what a student is likely to cough up for any kind of an offline class, I think it's far more convenient to study from the app at your own place, in the convenience of your familiar surroundings, and at the same time, just at a fractional cost, right? Second thing that she made a mention of is I think very few people who genuinely would practice questions only can appreciate the fact that yes, the Q bank has been designed in a specific way wherein we don't claim that we are going to be providing you the maximum number of questions with respect to all the other people in the market. But yes, the questions are framed in a way wherein the purpose is that they tend to cover most of the relevant topics which are asked in the exams without having too much of a repetition, so that you save your time as well as you cover up all that is what is essential for clearing the exam. And third thing, as you rightly said, she talked about one of the most beautiful star legendary faculties of Team Cerebellum, Zainab ma'am. Of course, her voice, her appearance, her calm is just so reassuring. In fact, a lot of people that I had been talking to say ki it is infectious, in the sense
yeah,
that when madam appears on screen, it feels ki somebody who is from their own medical school, or a senior, or somebody who's close up in the family, that elder sister kind of feeling, na, just a very calm thing, ho jayega aram se, aap log kar loge. And then she's talking about those facts. And definitely the program that she has conceptualized for you and has framed for you so brilliantly is with the intention that for people who have slogged so hard reading the individual subjects would find it very easy to revise the content towards the last, towards the fag end of their preparation. I believe so. That is what usually is going to be talking about. But one important, interesting thing that I could notice from Dr. Rajshree's, when she was pointing out the things, was the fact that she took the pack because initially she was a bit skeptical about the fact that we are not going to be having a classical FMG kind of an exam. We are going to be having a next pattern exam. So I think that itself shows the amount of trust, love, and support that you people are putting in Cerebellum, wherein you believe that we as a team can give you the best combination of what is being asked in the exams with the current way of asking the questions, as well as what is likely to be given to you in the subsequent years, as and when the pattern of the questions may change. So, Dr. Rajshree, just talking about then certain personal things at your end, because you made a mention of the fact that you almost covered half of India. I think down south is covered, and then west is covered, Gujarat is covered. So, who all are there in your family?
So I like we are a very small family. I have very 8 years young sister and my dad and my mom, and they have been like the strongest pillar ever in my whole life, and of course my grandparents and my relatives. But like I don't think I can achieve any success without them till now. So
Of
like
course,
all
of course.
credits goes to them.
I
And
think it
of
is
course,
a
I want to mention my university teachers. Even they had like a very big role in my foundation. And of course, all the platform teachers, they were like too good. Like that's why I bought them because their content perfect. I think many people have messaged me that, "Ma'am, is this enough? Is this enough?" But like to be honest, they are there because this is enough. Like you shouldn't like doubt anyone, any teacher, because they are there only because this is enough, and this is like that's all you need. More focus for anyone should be multiple revisions. Like more you revise, definitely you score, and that was the main thing I think I had like lagging because I couldn't revise at all. Like it was just the first reading. If I could have revised, then definitely I think it would be much better. But people should focus more, even if it's very concise. People should focus more on multiple revisions than like to think that, oh, this is new information there, this is new information here. You shouldn't bother much about that. That's what I'll say.
So if I were to ask you, Dr. Ashri, I mean, what are the three do's which you would tell your juniors who are likely to appear in the December exam or the subsequent exams? Or if I go back to your medical school, people watching you, maybe this particular video from Mauritius or from all the parts of the world. I mean, globally, the people might be really inspired to be like you. So, what are the three do's that you would tell them, and what are the three don'ts that you would like to guide them about the exam?
Uh, First of all, trust your source. Like, don't even think of questioning it. Trust your source. Second is give grant test and not just grant test of any one platform. I'll say to give grant test of as much because every platform in the end has multiple free grant tests. So you have to give grant because you don't know what will be the questions, like how difficult. There is no prediction about that. So you like prefer giving grant test of all platform and revise these three. Like even if you follow these three, it's more than enough. Like you will definitely cross 200 no matter what. That's what I'll say.
Okay. And anything strongly that you would recommend to your juniors or people appearing that should not be done?
Uh, don't use multiple resource. Don't think about. First of all, don't think about like, oh, you missed this topic, oh, you missed that at the end, because that will create another panic and your anxiety will go up and it will really make you feel low. Don't doubt yourself. You are no less than anyone. Don't doubt yourself. Like you can get all India rank one, and no one is less. Anyone, no one. Even if you have multiple attempts, you shouldn't like question yourself. And third one will be to the people who are in like university. Uh, Make your foundation strong. Like you need not go in depth for like extra knowledge. Even if you're just doing markings, that should be strong and not like rectification. Like you should have a conceptual knowledge so that it imprints. And don't like people try to mug up everything, even if it would be conceptual. But because that is the shortest route you can take. But I won't prefer that because in the long term it's going to harm more. So and in FMG, I also like for example, micro for me it was strong because I did multiple times from Apurva Shastri textbook. So like because I had very strong grip over that textbook, I just used those. Like I didn't think of going to any new platform because my concept was strong. So if any student have strong concept over some textbooks, the standard textbook, they should prefer that.
So I think a very wonderful message for all the people out there at the university level, wherein, as we always keep on talking and hammering about that particular fact, please read your textbooks as much as possible because nothing would ever substitute it. If you have the availability of the time and the luxury, please go into the concepts and cover up as much topics from the video lectures as possible. During the paucity of time, you then can have a wonderful revision from the quick revision notes or the other things. In case you happen to be a premium pack subscriber from Cerebellum, just buying the pack is not going to make you successful. It would be attending the sessions live right in over there, no matter whatever feeling that you may be having that you know about a particular topic. And as rightly said, just stay grounded, appear in as many tests as possible. I mean, I just hope that people didn't get confused in two things. So Dr. Rajshree made a mention of the fact that don't choose multiple platforms. However, grand tests or the tests which you possibly can appear from multiple tests are something that she advocates, right?
Yeah, because every application has free grant test everywhere. So everyone should give that, and like you need to have like clear idea where you stand. And like I think most of the grant tests I gave at the end, and somehow two or three questions came from every grant test, like every grant test, and that's like a cherry on top if you actually remember the answer. And not just solving grant test, you need to analyze why you made mistake, or if you even guess those answers, you need to go back and see, and then you need to remember, you need to bookmark, and then next day, even after waking up, you need to revise the bookmarks. So I think this is important. Just giving grant test also would make difference. So this I would say for grant tests.
Specific for this particular exam, one particular query which a lot of people raised. See, suppose you appear in the examination hall and you have a look at that question paper, or you something, a couple of questions appearing on your screen, and it may so happen ectopically that the question paper level is a bit different from what you expected. How do you at that particular moment manage your stress levels? How do you keep yourself calm during that moment? Because I personally know of a lot of people who could have done better only if they could have maintained their calm, only if they could have had less anxiety.
I think, sir, I was one of them who didn't have that calm after seeing the paper. Like for a minute, I saw everyone that are they very good? Like, are they maintaining calm? And then I was like, it's okay, Rajshri. And then I skipped the next question, and somewhere again the same happened. Like every fifth question, I was getting stuck. Then I was like, after I think giving 10 questions, I was like, it's okay, Rajshri, you have to do it. So what I did, like, I attended the last Zainab ma'am's BTR for FMG, and she said that no one knows everything. It's all the game of ruling out the option. So I like whatever I could, I just tried to rule out the option, and that's how. Because definitely no one knows everything, and in many questions this time I felt like I some questions I didn't even hear about. So it happens, but then it's very important to maintain your calm because that same happened to me. But you need to go through that and like just take a pause, like a minute pause, and then you just have to reassure yourself that you can do it. Then you need to continue. And
So it's
even
almost
after,
like Dr. Rajshree literally applying that principle of what we had in movie Three Idiots, no? So giving a reassurance, all is
yeah,
well. Yes, Rajshree, you can do it. And
yeah,
trust me, it may sound a bit humorous to people, but the fact of the matter is that for a lot of situations, this is going to be a very important psychological tool that you are using to keep yourself calm and stay focused. And the second thing is that, as we say, that there are two ways of approaching a question. One can be a direct way. That's what is, I personally call it as an anti-grade way, where read the statement of the question, stem of the question, read the options, and you know the answer. The other way can be that you have heard about the particular topic, but you're not so sure of the answer. So you keep on ruling out the options which you feel you have some idea about. And it may appear as a surprise to you, but then suddenly you find, okay, option A ruled out, C ruled out, D ruled out. So by default, option B becomes the answer. And that can be the icing on the cake, which can help you get, far better marks than what you anticipated. So
also, I wanted to say that it's very important to maintain your calm because you need to read question like with 100% presence of mind. Like I think in some two or three questions when I saw the recall videos, I missed except word. And that felt really bad because you knew the question and then you still made the mistake or you overthought. Like always, the first guess is always your correct guess. And then you shouldn't like overthink because there was one question that postmortem calorimetry, what is the shape of the graph? I knew it was sigmoid, but then the graph showed the inverse like that way, like the top was up so I was like, no, it should be reverse sigmoid. And then my heart told me it's sigmoid, but then like because of overthinking, I marked reverse sigmoid. So I think if you're not sure about it, your first guess is always the right one. And maintain your calm is like very important. Otherwise, you'll miss out on those except words and those things. So like it's really important to maintain the calm. That is like uh, you need to take much what should I say, like before the exam you need to have a very strong pillar. My dad was with me in exam hall, and even after first paper I was not that happy, but he was like, it's okay, I know you will do it. So I think that really helps. So if there is your family members around you, it's like very helpful in your exam.
Absolutely, absolutely agreed. So how are we having the celebrations now? Is it with the help of the curd rice, the kesar rice, the idli podu, or it is with the the fafda, the dhokla, and the khandvi stuff?
So mixture of both, everything is there.
When are we going to be getting the opportunity to have a taste of them?
So after NEET PG.
After NEET PG. So that is the kind of confidence and like in the people who perform really well in the exams. So as you find that Dr. Rajshree is not content with clearing the exam with a magnanimous score, but yes, as all good students would do, she understands that this might be a stepping stone for her success, and then the next target happens to be NEET PG, for which I'm sure that she is going to be utilizing all the resources being provided by the platform Cerebellum really well, including the Q bank, including the revamped clinical questions, including the videos which are specifically meant, including the quick revision and the specific BTR as well. So, on behalf of all the team, I wish you all the success, Dr. Rajshree. And
Thank you for
my humble request to convey the best wishes from the Cerebellum family to your family members as well. It would be an
sure,
honor
sure.
and a pleasure for us to meet you in person someday as time permits. And may God bless you with loads of success, health, and happiness. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much.